Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to the Franchising 360 show. I am Tim Parmeter, and with me as always is Danielle Wright.
Hello.
Oh, we changed up the trademark hi to hello tonight.
I'm adding some extra letters.
Excellent. So we are here to educate you about franchise ownership. Dare we say, take a 360-degree view of this. We're going to talk about things that you need to think about to become a franchise owner. We're going to talk about things that help you become a better franchise owner and even take that business of yours and turn it into a franchise. And we are on week 3 here of talking about food and more food.
Yes.
We got another guest coming in today.
With food, yes.
With food. So last week was our dear friend Rachel over at Giggle Waters.
So wait, but no one brings us food. I'm not understanding. Like, are we not?
I'm
we had birthdays here in the studio and we have food, but we talk about food and we never get food. I don't understand. And it's Friday night. It's like date night. We're doing this show, date night. You know, people are probably eating while they're watching this, yet we have no food.
Date night.
I'm just saying.
Oh, we're not representing
fancy,
that
like
brand, right?
Applebee's.
You want to do the dance?
No.
Please.
No.
Come on.
Next.
They'll send us food.
We'll talk about Applebee's and food on another episode.
Okay.
But this one, we're talking a different type of food.
We are talking a different type of food. And last week was more full service. This is more fast casual. Last week's was brand spanking new. This one's been around since literally before World War II.
And I think that's important for us on this journey of food franchises because we've talked a lot about, Tim's Sandwich Shop, but it's kind of nice to remind the viewers that there are multiple avenues or verticals within food. Like we've talked home service, we've talked about a bunch of brands. We're going to have lots of guests in the near future that just kind of give you a dabble into their world of franchising, but food has a plethora of options.
And again, some of the behind the scenes things of, okay, yes, it's food and it's this type of food, but what are they really looking for? Their culture, all of those different things are going to come up.
So we've got a lot of fun Friday facts for you.
Wow, leading right into, you're the
I'm getting pretty good at this, right?
Segue queen. So our Friday franchise fun fact, which is quite the F alliteration. What do we got for everyone
last week
tonight?
we were talking directly about a franchise. This week it's a little different. So fun fact, in the week of April 4th, 1792.
Oh, I was definitely not around then.
So the U.S. Mint was founded. And this week there's also a franchising show in Fort Lauderdale. So if you're in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, go out, visit a franchise show, take some of the knowledge you've learned here, kind of apply it to that show. But why is the mint an important thing from a franchising fact?
That's a good question. Why is it?
I was waiting for you to give me the answer.
I don't know.
Well, because if we didn't have the mint and we didn't create money, there wouldn't be money to be made or earned in owning a franchise. I brought it all full circle. Look at that.
360 degrees. And after our guest mentioned the franchise show on Fort Lauderdale, there's something way more important that we have to, what's that thing on Harry Potter where they like transfiguration or something?
Look at you throwing in some Harry Potter references.
One place to the next, like Tortuga Music Festival.
Oh, okay. That's fun.
Yes.
Super exciting. Less franchise focused on the franchise fact on a Friday.
Part of being a business owner, you get to create your own schedule and you get to do things like, we're out of here. Peace out.
Yeah. We're gone. Bye-bye.
Yes.
See you in 3 days.
Toes in the sand for 3 days.
That's lovely. But it is kind of a franchise thing, right? Like anything that, I guess, whatever. We can spend that whatever way we want.
But we digress on what we're going to be doing the rest of the weekend. For the next 20 minutes or so, we've got a great guest coming in to talk about their amazing fast casual food franchise.
Which is...
You got to come back after the break for that. But next on the Franchising 360 show, we have this surprise guest talking all about their fast casual food franchise here on the Franchising 360 show. All right, we are back on the Franchising 360 show, and joining us now from lovely Dallas, Texas, we have the CEO of Dickey's Barbecue Pit, Laura Rae Dickey. Laura, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
We are excited to chat with you, wishing we could have some of that yum-tastic food with us today. And I know you're going to make some mouth water talking about everything, but we've got a bunch of questions we want to learn. But first is give us a little of the story and the history. I'm sure a lot of people out there are familiar with Dickey's, probably already fans. Maybe they got their little yellow cups already, but this is the brand that's been around a long time and it's got an amazing history. Share that with us a little bit.
We do. We are the real deal. We are legit Texas barbecue. We're authentic. We are third generation family owned. In fact, I'm sitting here in our corporate office in Dallas, Texas, and our original restaurant opened in October of 1941. My husband's grandfather actually opened the location, and it is still serving folks today. It is the oldest continuously operating restaurant in Dallas, Texas that has never moved, changed names, or changed locations, changed ownerships. It is exactly where it has always been and is still serving folks that legit Texas smoked on site brisket and ribs and kielbasa sausage and pulled pork and our smoked chicken. And so we've just been doing that for over 83 years right here in Dallas.
That is crazy. And just hearing all of those things is making me very, very hungry.
It's a good reaction.
Right. It's kind of what you were going for there. I am quite sure. So Dickey's been around a long time. Give us a little on you. How long have you been kind of in your current role and kind of in the Dickey's fun family kind of food franchise?
Sure. I actually met Roland and did not think that we would ever work together. I had a different background in marketing and technology, and he and I got married, and then I was really just genuinely drafted into service and family business about 2008, the end of 2008, beginning of 2009, when we were working through the Great Recession, as most folks will remember it. And we were deciding what to do with the company. We were about 85 locations at the time. And it was one of those moments where he has been in the role of CEO for several years. And it was a pivotal moment because it was so challenging and folks weren't quite sure, what the economic landscape and the business landscape and certainly the restaurant business was going to look like. And so it was one of those, what do we want to do? We had a lot of offers to sell the company. We had a lot of offers to do different things. And we decided that we really wanted to double down and make sure that we stayed a third generation family business and to really put everything into it and grow it. And so I joined and he said, well, to do that, make that work, appreciate the support. I'm going to need you to quit your job and come join us, which wasn't exactly what I thought he was going to say. But I did. And then I also thought that would be temporary. I thought I would bring my expertise in marketing and tech to the company for a while and then probably go back to doing what I had done before. And instead, I worked my way through the company and then apparently missed several meetings and have been demoted to CEO.
That's what you get for missing meetings right there.
That's right.
So,
I learned my lesson.
And it's been a very temporary, 17, 18 years for you.
17, 18 years.
Basically. Got it. Well, cool. And so for maybe people that don't know or haven't been to Dickey's, kind of give us the overview of kind of what type of food franchise is this? What's that look like from a customer standpoint?
Sure. We are fast casual barbecue. We are truly authentic, legit Texas barbecue. I say that because every restaurant has a hickory pit on site. So we smoke all of our meats fresh. We slice them, we chop them. If it's pulled pork, we grab, squish, and tickle it on site for everybody. Folks come in, they have a real pit master there at the block. They order their barbecue and then they work through our homestyle sides. So we have a great homestyle sides, and then we have some additional Southern favorites on the menu. We have a gorgeous giant stuffed baker, which you can get any of our smoked meats on. We also have recently just expanded to some additional Southern classics on the menu, some fried chicken and some chicken fried steak. And we have added gravy to our mashed potatoes, and those have been really popular. So true Southern barbecue, true authentic pit smoke over hickory wood in every restaurant. And that's that Dickey's experience. And it's the same whether you order it in Dallas or all the way to Dubai. You come in and you have that really friendly, relaxed Texas hospitality combined with some great barbecue.
Yeah. And from you talk about everything being fresh and kind of the family fun environment with this, but you're doing it in a relatively small footprint for food, right?
We are. We have slimmed down. We historically had much larger restaurants, as a lot of folks did. You kind of think of those late 80s, early 90s, larger dinner houses, right? We were certainly there for a time, but we have slimmed down to an 1,800 to 2,200 square foot model. It's given us a lot of flexibility to grow and franchise and really expand in different markets, to have a much leaner footprint so that we can go right into an end cap or an end line, to have a drive-through. We certainly have some freestanding locations, but we don't have to be in a freestanding building. And I think that's something that's really been good for the restaurant industry. It's brought a lot of variety and flexibility. And so we've certainly been able to take advantage of that.
Right. And it obviously keeps that initial investment lower, right? The overhead
Absolutely.
lower. And also kind of because it's the fast casual, your staff, sometimes people worry about, oh my man, I need 20, 30 people on staff at any given time or any shift. For you guys, it's the complete opposite, right?
Absolutely. And that's what's really great about fast casual, is that you have folks that stretch up to dine with fast casual, or folks then when they want to be more budget conscious, sometimes will trade down to fast casual. So it's a really nice spot to be in, with a lot of flexibility depending on what's happening with the economy. But we also have that not just in the footprint, as you mentioned, but also in our team members, in our, we call pit crew. So they're truly folks that are pit masters, but you can run with a U+2 model is what we call it. So our owner operators that are there every day, that are our pit masters, you can run most shifts in an average Dickey's in an average day with 3 people. And so it really helps control your labor costs.
Yeah. And I want to come back after the break and talk a little bit about the owner. And you kind of alluded to it there, but I want to dive a little bit deeper into that when we come back with Laura Rae Dickey from Dickey's Barbecue Pit here on the Franchising 360 Show. Hey, welcome back to the Franchising 360 Show. Laura Rae Dickey from Dickey's Barbecue Pit is joining us. Laura, talk a little bit about what you guys are looking for in an owner. I know you really want somebody that is jumping into this full time, but talk about some of the things that you're looking for in kind of that person and kind of some of the things that they're doing on a daily basis.
Absolutely. And that's probably, I think, one of the most important questions that we ask, because we are a food and folks company, right? And both are equally important. We lead with the barbecue. We're all about the barbecue and our authenticity there. But equally important is our partners, our partnership. We truly don't use the term franchisee internally. We say owner operator because that's genuinely what we mean and the type of partnership that we're looking for. With barbecue, it's a passion food. It's an art and a science. You really have to want to serve great barbecue. You have to want to go in there and be a pit master and know all your proteins and know your pit and smoke everything 12 to 14 hours, starting with your brisket, starting with your pork, and be there and be involved and engaged in the restaurant. So we are looking for folks that have a passion, that want to be hands-on in their restaurant. Anyone that has a partnership that might be interested in being an equity partner has to have an operating partner that has ownership. For us, that's very important and kind of sets us apart. I think that's also how we feel about it as a third generation family business. We're truly family. We have our own restaurants. It's passionate. It's important to us. We care so very much about our legacy, the brand, and the communities in which we do business. And so we're looking for folks that share that values, that really want to be engaged and involved in the business, the barbecue, and their communities.
So how much does an owner need to come in with experience in that? What if I barely can barbecue a hot dog on a grill? Is that something, can I come in and do that and be an owner?
Absolutely, you can. And that's one of the things that we bring to the table. We bring 83 years of experience. We bring the Pitmaster program. We can teach anyone to be a Pitmaster. In fact, you come to Dallas, everyone who's an owner-operator, no matter where they are in the U.S. or in any of our international markets, they come to Dallas. They train in the original location. They work with our Pitmasters. They work in our family-owned restaurants. They work with our culinary team, and they really develop the skills for the art of great barbecue. They really learn what it means to work in that hickory pit every day, how to rotate the meats, how to chop, how to slice, how to serve, how to what we call chop and chat, how to really engage a guest in barbecue. So that's what we bring to the table. So you don't have to have a barbecue experience. In fact, sometimes maybe it's better not to,
right.
But to be able to come in and learn all those skills.
Gotcha. And I like you've talked about kind of the food and folks, right? So yes, they're going to come in and they're going to learn all of that. They're going to be active with that. But you need people like kind of people, right? From a perspective of like in the store, the customers, the staff. But I'm guessing you want some owners that are comfortable really getting out and being active in the community as well. Would that be accurate?
Absolutely. That is also part of our brand and part of our legacy and our culture is to be good stewards in the communities in which we do business. We call it doing both well and good. We're here to do well, right? We're here to all make a profit, make a hickory smoke profit, but we want to do good as well. So we want to give back to the communities in which we do business. It's such a fundamental part of our brand legacy. It's really how we've organically grown. 3 generations ago, my husband's grandfather and my father-in-law, they were out in the community. That's how they genuinely built their business. That's how they built their catering business. That's how they expanded. They, I think, always thought they would be a small family-owned chain, and we have 8 family-owned restaurants still. But that it was really built through their getting out into the communities and getting involved with their schools, with sponsoring any first responders support, being involved and engaged in every way possible to give back.
Yeah. And you mentioned kind of in that and how key that is, but you mentioned a word that gets kind of lost and forgotten sometimes in the food world, catering. So talk a little bit about how that factors into all of your locations.
Catering is probably one of our secret sauce ingredients, if you will, and why we can be so successful is that we have dine-in, we have what we call home meal replacement, folks that are coming in to pick up to go or family packs. We have online ordering, but we do a huge catering business because barbecue is set up for that. So you have really high quality, craveable foods that take a lot of time. So folks aren't doing that for themselves as often. So it makes it a really craveable, really orderable food with a really high satisfaction for catering, for events, for parties. And we can cater big to small. We can cater for 10, for 20, 30, all the way up to several hundred. We've even done 1,000 folks in a catering before. So it's very flexible.
And it travels well, it stays well, it's good leftovers, it's all of those things too that factor into that. And with the catering, it's obviously that bigger ticket of 10, 20, 100, 1,000 people, but there's a good chunk of those folks that are going to enjoy that food from the catering event that didn't know you were there, and now it's going to go, oh man, this is good. Where's this place out? And all of a sudden you've brought in more people into the store.
That's what's great about Dickey's and about barbecue. If you can get folks to engage and just try the brisket, try the ribs, then you can make a customer for life. And catering is a great way to take one customer and build all of their friends and family or their coworkers into your guests as well for life. And that's where the catering is such a good investment because it is its own marketing, is its own, continuous give back to the business, but it also really allows you to plan the business, right? You have those orders that come in with lead time. So that makes it so much easier to control your COGS, to control your labor, to really maximize profits when you have that planned business. Online ordering gets you a little bit of a heads up, but that catering gets you several days. And so there's really a lot of upside to catering.
Excellent. Awesome. I want to come back after this break, Laura, and talk a little bit about some of the many ways in which Dickey's is going to be able to support their franchise owners. So we'll talk about that when we come back here on the Franchising 360 show right after this. Welcome back to the Franchising 360 show, and joining us from lovely Dallas, Texas, Laura Rae Dickey from Dickey's Barbecue Pit. Laura, we talked a few minutes ago about the owner and all of those things, but give us maybe, I know support from a franchise is like we could spend an hour talking about all the different kind of mechanisms. With food, I think it comes back to like, where am I getting the stuff, right? Do I just roll over to Walmart to buy some good briskets? Talk a little bit about how the franchisor is helping kind of in that supply chain piece.
Absolutely. And that's exactly the right question to ask, whether it's us or any restaurant franchise that you might be considering, is to ask about that support and to ask what the franchisor brings to the table, that because it's a true partnership. And having proprietary products, having high quality specs, going in and having that purchasing power so that you are doing so much better from a cost of goods standpoint than just going down the street to whatever your local retail grocer might be.
Right.
It's an entirely different way to run the business. And so we have partners, we have proprietary products, some that we make right here ourselves in Mesquite, Texas, actually, right next to Dallas. And we make our own sauce, we make our own spice, we make our own barbecue beans. And we also, during the pandemic, actually, as a response to the supply chain shortages, opened our own USDA manufacturing plant. So we make our own proprietary kielbasa sausage, our wonderful traditional sausage that was my father-in-law's recipe. And then my husband's recipe, which is the spicy jalapeno cheddar kielbasa sausage. You can kind of see how that was passed down through the generations. Added a little spicy, a little cheese to it, and it's fantastic. It's a really, really good sausage. Folks come in just for the sausage, and then they come back for the brisket.
Right. And so it's also then, when you think of this, the control over the product. So if you said,
Yes.
whether you're going to a Dickey's in Dallas or Dubai, it's going to be the same. So no matter where those people are, they know it's the same. And it also makes it easier for the franchise owners, because they don't have to figure out, where do I get it? Is it any good? What's the price? You guys have figured all of that out.
Absolutely. And also all of the training, all of the preparation, all of taking care of your allergens, your menus, your calorie count, your food costing, your cost of goods. All of that comes with being on program with your franchise partners. So using those products, using those recipes, using those tried and true, family history, legacy pieces to make the best barbecue, it all fits together. And that's part of that support. In addition to all of the training and all of the tech and all of the marketing that we provide, the purchasing the product, being food focused, is definitely a key piece that what makes Dickey's Dickey's.
Yeah, and I think when you think of some of those kind of the buying power and things like that, even the food, even just, hey, where do we get those super cool yellow cups?
And absolutely.
You were like really quickly tell us, you were kind enough to be on our Franchising 101 podcast a few weeks back. The yellow cup, accident or mistake, or accident or on purpose?
Oh, definitely a mistake. Definitely an accident. One of those serendipitous cups. My father-in-law decided that we wanted to give something away to our guests, that Southern Texas hospitality, and wanted something that they would take home and be able to think about Dickey's. And we ordered them, and they showed up yellow. They were not supposed to be yellow. And that is how the big yellow cup was born. And I love it now when folks have it in their kitchen cabinets, or they have it and they send it in, they travel with it. It's just great to see the big yellow cup. It definitely has a more robust travel schedule than I do from the photos that folks send in. So it's become one of those kind of brand icons for us.
Where's Waldo turned into? Where's the Dickey's yellow cup? So
that's exactly right.
Excellent. Hey, Laura, do you have, we're about out of time on the show, but do you have a few minutes to stick around? We'd love to chat a little bit more and be able to have everybody take a look at our YouTube channel for that. Can I twist your arm for that?
You most certainly can.
Excellent. Well, cool. So anybody interested in Dickey's, if you're hungry, right? Here is the website right here on the screen. Check that out. Always you can come to francoach.net to learn a little bit more. And for the rest of this interview and more great stuff, go to our YouTube channel. Fran Coach is where you're going to be able to find that. Until next week, tune in here to the Franchising 360 show, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on BizTV. Thanks so much.